And the second question is more specific, which I'd like you to answer in sequence, which is, we've heard about this cooperation on the ground between the IDF and the Palestinian Security, the PA. We've heard that that might be endangered if the talks break down. Is there room, and is there any Israeli faith in international peacekeeping forces? What's the historical experience? And you know, is there any hope in that avenue? And gentlemen, who'd like to go first?
I'll start with a technical question. There are some ideas about third-party involvement, international forces or contingents to be involved. For sure, for monitoring. By the way, now the situation in West Bank that many international organizations, I'm speaking about NGOs and about formal organizations which present their own countries that are dealing with bilateral issues, infrastructure, economy, security, by the way, by General Dayton, who is in charge by the Americans of this Palestinian police development. So de facto, the role of the international community, especially in West Bank, is very massive, and I think that Israel has to take it into consideration. The Israeli security has to take it somehow into consideration. There are some ideas about the Jordan Valley, the border between Israel, Jordan, and the Palestinians, or in the future, maybe Palestinian-Jordanian border, that there were ideas during Oslo, Camp David, other ideas, including the last talks in Washington, to have some international elements there. About active peacekeeping forces in West Bank, I think that the Israeli security and the Israeli governments won't be so happy to have them there, but as supporting elements, monitoring elements, and some elements in the Jordan Valley, I think that it's possible. That's about the technical question. About the political question, there are also in Israel some ideas to have a national unity government, which is, by my eyes, also somehow an important element or a change of the structure of the government in Israel to initiate and to continue with the peace process, which is somehow an open question, and somehow it's a topic on the agenda. So this is also very important for leadership decisions and for breakthrough, for breaking through the situation as it is now. This is my personal belief, and I'm raising it here. And about reconciliation between Fatah and Hamas, until now, all the efforts, mostly the efforts being done by the Egyptians, massive efforts to find a way or to reconcile, all the efforts failed. The gap between Hamas and Fatah is very, very big. It's a total separation in Gaza between Hamas and the PA or Fatah or whatever, without direct connection to Israel. The gap is so big that I will be very surprised if it will be solved quickly, but the efforts to find a way how to join Hamas as a positive element to the process are necessary. Hamas is there. Hamas is a fact. Hamas will influence all the developments, negatively or positively, in the region, especially between us and the Palestinians. So if something positive can happen between PA and Hamas to bring Hamas also somehow to play a positive role in the crisis, I think it will be a dramatic success for the peace efforts in the region. Personally, I'm not sure that it will happen.
I'll continue from this point regarding reconciliation. I agree with Baruch. It's very far-fetched. It's hopeful, but I cannot see it happening now. But I would say that, tactically speaking, if there is a possibility to reach an agreement between an Israeli government and a Palestinian leadership led by Abbas and Fayyad, I think it's better that this will happen before reconciliation achieved. I think that if there will be an agreement, let's just, have a scenario, that there is an agreement on final status between the current leaderships, and then with this power, Fatah is entering the dialogue with Hamas, I believe it will help the moderate forces in order to achieve better results within this process of reconciliation, A. B, we know that one of the demands of Hamas is actually to have their 40% of the share at the leadership of the PLO. Now, as you know, we are negotiating as Israel with the PLO, not with the PA. Currently, the PLO is being ruled, so to say, and led by the moderate forces of Abbas and the PLO, and Hamas is not part of it. I can hardly see a situation that Israel and the Palestinians are able to reach an agreement based on what we know, Geneva parameters, Clinton parameters, whatever, with Hamas inside the negotiations. So by and large, I would have fostered a situation of as quick as possible agreement on final status, on principles at least, and as Brom said, the implementation can take a few years, but principles as fast as possible, then the reconciliation, then democratic elections. Speaking about democratic elections, and I agree that it should happen, I have my open question whether Hamas will enter into democratic elections if there will be possibility that they will lose. And I'm afraid that Hamas, and Yazid is not here, Hamas is so democratic that they are only ready to participate in elections which they're absolutely sure that they will win, meaning that they are one-time democratic election system. Now, regarding the technical question of foreign forces, I agree with Baruch Spiegel about the current situation.